Alright guys, standard deviation. This is the confluence that helps you top and bottom tick and find those levels. So here is my fib tool. I'm going to post these settings later in indicators, but these are my settings. So how do we use the standard deviation fib tool? We want to be anchoring the manipulation swings on the 15 minute, the 5 or the 15 minute, and we don't go any lower than the 5 minute. I see a lot of you guys like to anchor the 1 minute, and I'll tell you that the 1 minute does work, but it does not work as well as the 5 or the 15 minute or any time above that. Obviously, yeah, you can go above the 15 minute and anchor something on, let's say, like the 30 minute, but remember that time frame alignment is important, and if you're anchoring something on the 1 hour, it's probably going to be part of a higher time frame PR3 rather than the daily. So the 15 minute is related to the daily PO3, so that is what we're going to be looking at, right? We want to be anchoring on the 15 minute and the 5 minute every single time you wake up, every single morning. So we want to be anchoring the manipulation swings, okay? I'm going to go through some examples. And let's say right here, okay, we accumulate right here before manipulating up, sweeping out all this equal highs, and then trading back down within the accumulation range. Now, it is important that we recognize that manipulation is valid when, one, we first establish accumulation range, two, we manipulate out of that range, and then three, we trade back into that range, and we do not invalidate. We do not trade above the one. If we trade above the one, then this manipulation is invalidated, okay? So as you can see right here, that'd be the anchor, but we don't really get any touches. You don't want to be trading around the -1 to -1.5 area, because this area is the area for retracals. If you watched or looked at the MMXM PDFs and the videos, you would know. But yeah, so we don't want to be trading around this area. We want to be waiting for our max reversal levels. So this would be the -2, -2.5, -3.5, -4, and -4.5. Okay, these are our reversals, with these being reversal slash retracement, and these being max reversal levels. Okay, as you can see right here, we don't really get a touch, and that's okay, before we trade above it again and invalidating it. So let's go for examples that actually do work. Let's say right here, okay, we accumulate before manipulating, right there, and do we top tick? How much? That's a lot of drawdown though. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, see, 20 points of drawdown. Not really sure if I like that, but we do top tick high day right here with 13 points drawdown, giving us around 60 points. It's not that bad. There are better examples out there though. For example, like this is really clean. Okay, right here, right, we accumulate, manipulate, trade up. Oops. And as you can see, the -3.5 top ticks the entire AM before dumping us 300 or so points. Now you do see that sometimes we are a little bit off, but that is why we use standard deviation levels as a general level to find our areas before we use order flow or bookmap to confirm our levels. But yeah, just anchor the manipulation swing. I'll draw it out for you to make it a lot more simpler. We have accumulation before we manipulate out and then distribute down. Okay, accumulation before manipulating out and distributing. Okay, now remember, there can be AMD within AMD, right? So we can get a little accumulation. Actually, I'll draw it with this so it's clear. We can get accumulation before, let's say, we manipulate a little bit, form some S&T before we actually make the manipulation move, before we do the big distribution move. Okay, this is a possibility when there are two ways you can anchor. You can, one, anchor this, and there's another case where you can anchor this, right? Because these are both manipulations. There can be AMD within AMD, right? Same thing for the downside, right? Like this. Little manipulation out probably forms S&T before making the actual manipulation move, before distributing. You can anchor this. You can anchor this, right? I'm not going to draw it to the zones, but you get the idea. And so the time frames, not time frames, the time area where you want to be anchoring it is I do have to say standard deviation is a bit discretionary. Okay, we cannot be anchoring every single thing we see. Remember, it has to look clean. Okay, my rule of thumb is it sounds like bullshit, but if it looks clean, it probably is good. And you saw that through me scrolling through. I anchored 300 point optic, and let's say right here, right, this stuff isn't very clean. This caught my attention, but it's not very clean. We don't get much accumulation before it. But let's say right here, this is very clean. I remember I used this anchoring for one of my trades. Uh, sorry, it's this one because that's the low. And as you can see, although we do edge this level, I did get order flow confirmation a little bit around here, I'm pretty sure, and I caught this entire move. So yeah, that's how you use standard deviation. It's very discretionary, and you just want to look for whatever looks clean. You want to be anchoring anytime before New York AM open, so anytime before 8:30. And you can do this on literally any time frame. I think the highest that you should go to is the 1 hour. Don't go past the 1 hour. And 15 minute, 5 minute, 5 minutes the lowest. So yeah.